Nikki Haley just effectively endorsed Kamala Harris, giving permission to her 4 million followers to vote for Kamala Harris because character matters to her voters. And she just told them who has the proper character in a new interview that she agreed to purposefully to go on Fox News and tell the world that Donald Trump hates women. I mean, that's the only way I can read her interview. I'm Michael Popok. This is MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. We're going to talk about Nikki Haley stepping out of the shadows at the last minute to throw her votes over to Kamala Harris. Now, we knew that Donald Trump always had a Nikki Haley problem. 4 million people voted for Nikki Haley, and now new polling shows that because character matters to those voters, at least 40% of them are voting for Kamala Harris. And with Nikki Haley going on Fox News and giving them license and permission to do just that, that could help turn the election. That's enough votes in the swing states to turn the election. I mean, what did Donald Trump think was going to happen when he ran a racist, hate-filled rally in Madison Square Garden, attacking women, attacking Hispanics, attacking fellow Americans, at the same time that a political action committee affiliated with his campaign, run by Elon Musk, called Kamala Harris the C word? Of course that was going to get Nikki Haley off the sidelines and to give her full-throated, what appears to be endorsement, wink, of Kamala Harris. Listen to her interview that she agreed to. I'm sure her campaign, her people called up Fox and said, I want to come on and talk about what I'm observing with Madison Square Garden and the use of the C word. Let's roll the clip of her with who else, Brett Baer?
Primarily on who it is they're talking to. You've got Americans who are absolutely going to vote for Trump. You've got Americans who are absolutely not going to vote for Trump. And then you've got a percentage in the middle who like Trump policies but don't like his style. That is what they need to focus on. So when you look at these things, it has got to be a story of addition. This is not a time to have anyone criticize Puerto Rico or Latinos. This is not a time for them to get overly masculine with this bromance thing that they've got going. 53% of the electorate are women. Women will vote. They care about how they're being talked to, and they care about the issues. They need to remember that. This is a time of discipline, and this is a time of addition.
You mentioned the Madison Square Garden event. The former president addressed that today. Take a listen.
Madison Square Garden, the love in that room. Somebody said there was a comedian that joked about Puerto Rico or something, and I have no idea who it was. Never saw him, never heard of him, and don't want to hear of him.
You know how many Puerto Rican voters there are in Pennsylvania? 273,000. This is going to cost him votes, and a substantial Puerto Rican vote, also in Michigan.
I mean, this bromance and this masculinity stuff, I mean, it borders on edgy to the point that it's going to make women uncomfortable. You know, you've got affiliated PACs that are doing commercials about calling Kamala the C word, or you had speakers at Madison Square Gardens, you know, referring to her and her pimps. That is not the way to win women. That is not the way to win people who are concerned about Trump's style. This is a time to talk about the economy. This is the time to talk about immigration.
Okay. Look, there's a lot of different ways to read that, but I'm going to distill it into, I think it's essentials. She said that Donald Trump, this is off watching the rally, the attack on Puerto Ricans, and the use of the C word by Elon Musk in an ad campaign against Kamala Harris. This is Nikki Haley, former ambassador to the United Nations, governor from South Carolina, who, yes, endorsed Donald Trump back in July, but hasn't been seen since. Her and Ivanka must be hanging out because neither of them are on the campaign trail for Donald Trump. And her voters have always been willing to follow her lead. In fact, when she dropped out of the campaign in the primaries, they continued to vote for her in double digits in states as an opposition to Trump, as never Trumpers. And in recent reporting by other media outlets, we know, and they've interviewed Nikki Haley voters, they've said character matters. And so 46 to 50% of Nikki Haley voters are voting for Kamala Harris. And of those, even the Republicans who once voted for Donald Trump, that group has dropped by 14 points to vote for Kamala Harris. The independents in the Nikki Haley group that had voted for Donald Trump reliably the first time around, he lost 10% of them. And these are voters that through Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania can really matter and turn the tide, along with, of course, the Hispanic and Puerto Rican community that don't appreciate being called garbage by the guy running to be president, and that they're a floating pile of garbage. So you put all this together, calling Kamala Harris the C word, the attack on the Latin community, and now you got Nikki Haley, who not only is not on the campaign trail for Donald Trump, but comes out in a Fox interview effectively endorsing Kamala Harris, saying that she is smart, saying that she is a prosecutor. Get off her intellect. Stop talking about appearance, that the language and vernacular and vocabulary of the Republicans is anti-woman. And that is a failing strategy when 53% of the electorate are women and they vote in larger numbers than men. I have a secret weapon. No, it's not my stylish eyewear, although I do like them. It's my ability to always find a parking spot on the streets of Manhattan, despite complicated alternate side of the street parking rules and conflicting street signs that make no sense. A secret weapon is a great asset to have in your back pocket. It helps you get ahead in life. That's how Mack Weldon thinks about clothing, as a secret weapon. Timeless, classic style that's infused with performance fabrics and hidden details. Whether you're looking for light as air underwear, anti-odor tees, or sweaters with lightweight warmth, Mack Weldon has a full range of clothes that feel comfortable all day long. And they never go out of style. Mack Weldon and their comfortable yet modern and stylish clothing means that when I reach for their clothes in my closet and put them on to tackle my day, I instantly feel confident that my clothes are making the right impression on people I may meet or when I record. It's always the perfect fit, wash after wash, and how my clothes look is now one less thing I have to worry about to start my busy day. It's not just that they are soft to the touch and on the body. It's that they are reliably cut and designed to signal to the world, I got this. And, hey, don't tow my car, please. They're not flashy, just classic, always in style, and made from the world's most comfortable performance materials. Mack Weldon clothes are designed to fit your style and the demands of modern life. They look like regular clothes, but feel like the latest in modern comfort. They're the go-to choice for guys who want to look great without even trying. And if you aren't convinced yet, well, wait until you try Mack Weldon's crazy comfortable but elevated sweatpants in their Ace collection. You won't go anywhere else for high performance and comfortable, classically cut clothes again. Get timeless looks with modern comfort from Mack Weldon. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 25% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code LegalAF. That's MackWeldon.com, promo code LegalAF. You heard her say it. Stop with the bromance. Stop with the hyper masculinity. But Donald Trump won't stop and can't stop. And the campaign is too late. Look at the language of the Republican Party and the two top people on the ticket against women. J.D. Vance, the childless cat lady who doesn't have a right to be a full American patriot in this country. She doesn't have a voice to talk about policy because she's childless, right? That's the vocabulary of the guy who's trying to be the next president of the United States after Donald Trump. Donald Trump is either attacking Kamala Harris's ethnicity, her intellect, her appearance, all three, or using pornographic commentary to suggest that she got ahead in her job by having a relationship with a man. Right? This from an adjudged sex abuser and rapist. And so I think Nikki Haley had two choices, apparently. Stay silent, bound and gagged as she's been since July. No one's asked her to campaign. Donald Trump, when they asked Donald Trump recently, where's Nikki Haley? Nikki Haley voters. Have you done anything to reach out to Nikki Haley voters? There's 4 million of them. He said, I crushed Nikki Haley. I crushed them all. She's on our side. Is she? Not based on that interview. I wouldn't say she is. For me, if you distill it to its essence, that was an endorsement of Kamala Harris. That is one woman leader defending another woman leader while still staying relevant within her party. You know, she's not becoming a Democrat. And she's not covered herself in glory in the past with her attacks on Kamala Harris, her attacks on Joe Biden, her attacks on democracy and all of that. And her support, in fact, that she even supported Donald Trump, an insurrectionist, person who hates women. It tells you a lot about her own character and her own transactional nature of what she's trying to accomplish. However, just like Liz Cheney is campaigning now with Kamala Harris, going door to door in battleground states, even though I don't agree with everything Liz Cheney's ever done in her career, certainly what she did at much political risk and sacrifice in the Jan 6 committee chairmanship, and then running around with Kamala Harris along with hundreds of other Republican leaders to endorse her, that's saying something. And same thing with Nikki Haley. She could have stayed silent. She didn't have to go on Fox to be interviewed. She didn't have to come out and critique Donald Trump or bring up the C word that was run by Elon Musk's PAC against Kamala Harris. She didn't have to bring that up. But she felt compelled to do it. And now I think that's the license that's needed to finally, that's sort of a gust of wind in the sail of Kamala Harris to get those last remaining Nikki Haley voters across the finish line and vote for her. She just spoke the language of her supporters. Her supporters believe character is the number one thing that is should make in making your decision for who should be president. And she just told her supporters in the world that in the character test, there's no contest. It's only Kamala Harris. And that should be enough. That, combined with all the other demographic groups other than young and old white people and bros, that should be enough to get Kamala Harris across the finish line if we do our job. And we early vote, and we mail-in vote, and we absentee vote, and we vote on election day if all those other ways failed. And we go to the drop boxes that they're setting on fire in Washington and in Oregon. And we vote again if we have to. If those ballots are destroyed, we vote again because you can't set fire to democracy. You can't hammer democracy. You can't put democracy at gunpoint either. Not with the rest of us. I don't know if you want to call us the silent majority, but we got a job to do if you haven't done it already leading into Tuesday through Election Day. And that job is to make sure that Donald Trump, his henchmen, the shadow government, the government in exile, Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, and all of those crazies don't get anywhere near the White House ever again. I'm Michael Popok. This is the MeidasTouch Network, and I'm also on Legal AF, a collaborative YouTube channel at the intersection of law and politics that we do with the MeidasTouch Network. Find us on YouTube at Legal AFMTN. Till my next contribution, I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AFMTN. That's at Legal AFMTN.